Alright, you're watching TourNation and welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will be showing you what the best places are to visit if you're in Paris. From the Notre Dame to the Eiffel Tower, everything you can find in today's video. Get some snacks and a drink because we're gonna start with the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know more about the world. At number 10, the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower, La Tour Eiffel, ranks high on the list of places to visit in France and is the most visited tourist attraction in the world. It's hard to believe that the structure was dismissed as a monstrosity when it was first unveiled. The iconic tower was designed by Alexandre Gustave Eiffel for the Paris exhibition of 1889, which marked the centenary of the French Revolution. The tower consists of 18,000 sturdy iron sections weighing over 10,000 tons, held together by 2.5 million rivets. This innovative structure is now considered a masterful architectural feat and is the most emblematic site in Paris. Reaching 324 meters in height, the tower was the world's tallest building until the Empire State Building was erected in New York City. Number 9. Musee du Louvre. A sumptuous palace that was once the home of France's king, the Louvre is the most important of Paris's top museums. Visitors enter the museum in the courtyard of the palace at the Pyramid du Louvre, the glass pyramid designed by Liu Mingpei in 1917. The Musée du Louvre displays thousands of artworks, many of which are considered masterpieces, from antiquities to European paintings of the 15th to 19th centuries. It is impossible to see it all in one visit, but tourists can focus on a particular gallery such as classic sculpture, Italian Renaissance art, or 17th century French paintings, or take a self-guided tour to cover the Louvre's museum highlights. The most famous piece is the Mona Lisa, or La Gioconda, or the La Gioconda in French, painted by Leonardo da Vinci in 1503 to 1505. Many tourists breeze through the museum just to glance at this one piece, but there are many other must-see works of art to admire even if time is limited. Number 8. Cathedral Notre Dame de Paris. Notre Dame stands in the heart of Paris, on the Île de la Cité next to the Latin Quarter. An island in the Seine River, the Île de la Cité is the historical and geographical center of Paris. On this small plot of land, the Romans built the Gallo-Roman city of Lutetia, and from the 6th century to the 14th century, the kings of France resided here. The Cathedral Notre Dame de Paris was founded in 1163 by King Louis IX, St. Louis, and Bishop Maurice de Sully, and the construction took more than 150 years. The cathedral was first created in early Gothic style, while later additions, the west front and the nave, show the transition to high Gothic style. This impressive medieval monument is a triumph of Gothic architecture. The ornately decorated facade creates a breathtaking impression with its profusion of sculptures and gargoyles, while elaborate flying buttresses provide structural integrity for the enormous building. Number 7. Avenue des Champs-Elysees. The most monumental boulevard in Paris used to be a desolate field of marshland until the 17th century, when it was landscaped by André Le Notre. A century later, the Parisian city planner Baron Haussmann designed the boulevard's elegant buildings. The Champs-Élysées is divided into two parts with the Rond Point des Champs-Élysées as its intersection. The lower part of the Champs-Élysées, bordering the Place de la Concorde, includes a spacious park, the Jardin des Champs-Élysées and the Petit Palais Fine Arts Museum. The upper part, extending to the Arc de Triomphe, is lined by luxury shops, hotels, restaurants, cafes, cinemas, and theaters. The bustling area draws many tourists and is a gathering place for Parisians. Don't forget to watch till the end to see the top 10 of Paris. Number 6. The Musée du Orsay. The Musée du Orsay displays a splendid collection of 19th and 20th century art created from 1848 to 1914 in a converted Gare d'Orsay. This Belle Epoque railway station was built for the Universal Exhibition of 1900. Some of the world's most cherished paintings are on display in the museum's spacious galleries. The Orsay Museum is among the best places to visit in Paris to get an overview of Impressionist art history. Visitors are delighted by the broad assortment of paintings, from canvases that reveal the gentle pastel-hued brushstrokes of Monet to the wild, colorful scenes of Gauguin. The collection represents the work of all the masters of Impressionism. Featured artists range from Impressionist masters Edouard Manet, Claude Monet, and Auguste Renoir to post-Impressionist artists such as Pierre Bonnard, Paul Cézanne, and Vincent van Gogh. Number 5. Palais Garnier, Opéra National de Paris. Commissioned by Napoleon III in 1860, the Palais Garnier Opera House was designed by Charles Garnier in an exuberant Baroque style. Garnier worked tirelessly on the project for over a decade, from 1862 to 1875. Today, this show-stopping landmark is a symbol of Napoleon's imperial regime. The facade features classical columns and 8 sculptures representing allegorical figures: poetry, music, idyll, recitation, song, drama, and dance. The loggia depicts busts of composers including Rossini, Beethoven, and Mozart, while the cupola is topped with a statue of Apollo with allegorical figures of poetry and music. Number 4. Place de la Concorde. Created in 1772 by the architect of King Louis XV, this impressive octagonal square was the heart of 18th century Paris. The Place de la Concorde was the scene of several key historical events, including the executions of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, among other victims of the guillotine. The square was also part of Napoleon's triumphal route. With its majestic dimensions, the Place de la Concorde is one of the most attractive squares in the city and offers a sensational perspective of the city's landmarks. In one direction you can admire the Arc de Triomphe and in the other the Louvre, while the Eiffel Tower can be seen in the distance. At the center of the Egyptian obelisk, which was presented to Charles X by Viceroy of Egypt. During summer, there is a Ferris wheel here. Number 3. Arc de Triomphe. The Arc de Triomphe is dedicated to the soldiers who fought in the French armies of the Revolution and the First Empire Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon commissioned the building of this mighty structure in 1806, but did not live to see its completion in 1836. Designed by architect Jean-François Chalgrin, who modeled the monument after the Arc of Titus in Rome, the massive 50-meter-high arc measures bas reliefs with larger-than-life-size figures which depict the departure, victories, and glorious return of the French armies. Particularly noteworthy is the bas-relief by François Rude on the Champs-Elysees facing side, departure of the Volunteers of 1792, also known as La Marseillaise, illustrating the troops led by the winged spirit of liberty. On the inner surface of the arc are the names of more than 660 generals and more than 100 battles. Number 2. The Seine River Cruises. A boat cruise along the Seine River is one of the best ways to soak up the alluring scenery of Paris. Seine River cruises allow tourists to see the sights from a different perspective. The Seine River ridges, Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral, and the Louvre Museum look stunning from the viewpoint of a river boat. While a daytime cruise allows tourists to appreciate the glory of the monuments brightened by sunshine, the most romantic experience is an evening cruise. After the sunset, the city's landmarks are illuminated, which creates a special effect, and somehow the city seems more magical. Number 1. Musical concerts at Sainte-Chapelle. Sainte-Chapelle is considered a rare jewel among medieval houses of worship and is certainly one of the most exquisite churches in Paris. The ravishing 13th century chapel is tucked away on the Ile de la Cité, just a few blocks away, about a 10-minute walk from the Notre Dame Cathedral. This masterpiece of Rayonnette Gothic architecture was built from 1242 to 1248 for King Louis IX, St. Louis, to house the precious relics he had acquired from the Byzantine Emperor. The altar displays a relic of the crown of thorns. The chapel is renowned for its breathtaking stained glass windows, which give the sanctuary a serene aura. Visit in the morning and especially on sunny days to appreciate the windows at their most brilliant. The chapel has 15 stained glass windows covering 600 square meters, depicting over 1,000 scenes from the Bible, both Old Testament and New Testament stories. The colors and lights symbolize divinity and the heavenly Jerusalem. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment below for the next destination, and you will help us to grow the channel with a subscribe.